Name another bitch looking this mean, looking like fresh out the.
Okay, you guys, so here is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. So you guys, I'm just going to share with you how I like to use this banana powder. I am in the shade 420, so if you are in the shade 420 in the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation and been looking at the banana powder, please stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys how I like to use the banana powder on my shade. Okay, you guys, so my phone has been tripping. All of my audio on my video came out so horrible, so I'm gonna have to do some voiceovers in some areas. But what I was saying here in this clip is that I didn't get the concealer because I had already spent so much money and I know that I needed a powder, so I opted to go for the setting powder. I already brought foundation, which I needed some because I ran out. Gloss bomb, I bought some more stuff at Ulta, so yes, okay. But here you'll just see me using the LA Pro Girl concealer, which is my favorite concealer, and I'm using the color Coffee and Cool Tan. Okay, you guys, so in this clip I was just explaining how I just purchased this Morphe 536 blending brush. It's an under eye bullet blending brush, and this brush is so fire when it comes to blending out your concealer. Okay, I absolutely love this brush. This is one of my new favorites. Okay, so when I use this brush, just a tip, what I do is when I'm blending the product out, I'm using very light pressure where I want the most coverage. So I'm just literally lightly tapping this brush under my eye, and the brush really does all the work. Now when I get to the edges, I like to use a sweeping motion, so that's what you see me doing here. I'm really like lightly sweeping the concealer out to blend it, and then I just use those two motions, like a light press and a light sweep, and this brush is really perfection, I swear to you. This is what we came for, the Fenty Beauty setting powder. Let's read the package. It says light as air photo soft finish for all. Apply with powder puff setting brush to set foundation, concealer, and contour. I've already been inside of this. I was trying it out, testing it out, so I can give my honest feedback on this and how I like to use it and how I feel that it performs best. So yes, I have already opened it, but this is what it looks like. And this package is like, it's pretty. The packaging is very pretty. I love all of the Fenty Beauty packaging. But what I'm trying to say is that it's big. So you get a lot of product in this thing, okay? And I already have my sifter on here. Comes with a little sifter inside of the box, and you can put this on here to help combat all the powder from flying everywhere when you're opening your powder. So okay, so back to the voiceover. What I was saying here in this clip is like what I found to be true about this setting powder. As far as the banana shade, I only use it to set my areas that I want to bring forward, like my under eyes, my forehead, nose, and chin, right? All the places that I put the concealer. But also this powder gives you like a glow from within, and it's really, really pretty. You don't need to use a lot of this powder. And also at this point in time, since the weather is cold, I do not bake with this powder. And just because I don't bake with this powder, it does not take away the fact that you get the setting power, you get that beautiful blurring effect. Everything is still there even when you don't bake. What I like to do is just put a little bit in the cap. I like to take my brush, dip it in the cap just like this, and I like to get an even coat. So then I just tap it off. You really don't need that much product. I tap it off, put some back on, just make sure the coat is even. So you're going to want the powder to sit evenly on your brush, just like this. So I'm just taking the powder and I'm lightly pressing the powder on top of the concealer. So I'm using a pressing motion where I put the most coverage, and I'm really just lightly pressing that powder into the concealer. Just tap, tap, tap. Use light pressure. You do not need a heavy hand when you're pressing it in. And when you want like that flawless airbrush look, this technique right here is just like clutch. This is key. This is so important to getting that airbrush look. I think it's beautiful. Like, I love it. I went with the banana powder because it was the closest one to my undertone. It matched my undertone, but it also helped me like give this inner glow brightening type of situation. At first I tried cashew, but I actually returned cashew because it was too warm for me. Although it did brighten, it was still too warm looking. Okay, so I'm just doing the exact same thing to the other side. Just remember, guys, light pressure and press and roll. I'm also going to go ahead and set the other concealed areas on my face with the same technique. So just my forehead, nose, and chin, same thing. Okay, so one for sure thing that I like to do that cancels out flashback when you're using a lighter setting powder is take a setting powder that's your normal skin tone. Right here I'm using the MAC Select Sheer in the color dark, and I like to just go over the places where I use the translucent setting powder. So if you haven't tried that technique, please try it out. It really works. But yes, I'm just going to go over the rest of my face with the color Deep Dark on the outer perimeter, and I'm going to finish up my look. Guys, I really love this setting powder. It's really pretty. It really blurs your skin. So if you're looking for a new setting powder that's out on the market, guys, go ahead and try this out. My final thoughts about this powder. I love the powder. The powder does have a slight smell to it. It smells good. I don't find that it irritates my senses or anything like that. It's very light. One thing I would say, if you do like to bake with this powder and you have oily skin right now, I would say that when you're baking, be neat, if that makes sense. Like, so if you want to bake with this powder, don't just like throw the powder all over your face, because wherever you place this powder is where it's going to set. So if you bake and your powder is all like a little splotchy, like it's a circle over here or it's more powder over here, that's how it's going to set on your face. So if you want to bake and you're baking and it's splotchy, it's going to look splotchy when you dust it off, because this powder is strong. It does what it says it's going to do. It sets your makeup, okay? But I love the powder, and if you are in shade 420 like I am, do not be scared of the banana shade. Just use it to set. The tone works. It gives me more of a golden tone versus the more yellow tone in the color Honey. I love it. Like I said, I'm in the shade 420 and I love the powder. I love the color. It's not too bright for me. It just like brightens my skin and gives me like an inner glow, and it blurs. It works. So I love it. Yes, that's all I have to say. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you bought the powder down below in the comment section and what you think about it. If you have any questions about how I did this application even further than what's explained here on the video, please leave those questions down in the comment section. So yes, the verdict for me is I love it.